see if this shit is on. Yeah, we motherfucking live right now. Once again, I fucked up the first time, famo. But we out here live on y'all ass in motherfucking Facebook land, right? So if you're listening to this shit and you want to be a part of this conversation, the conversation topic is: Are you afraid of white people? Right? If you want to be a part of the conversation, you could dial in at 716-293-7071. PIN number 89197. Again, 716-293-7071. That's the call in number. The PIN is 89197. Peace to the goddamn famo. So, before we get this shit cracking, I'm gonna go to the famo, the president of the Riding Club and shit, Detroit, some of Detroit's finest and shit, to bring us into the conversation. So y'all hold tight and we'll be right motherfucking back.
President, talk to him.
You want the truth? You can't handle the truth. Why? Cause it's your fucking mind.
Everything is an illusion that you see with your eyes. This is the third one is open and you see through the lies. Read between the lines, unveil the truth. Conspire with like minds and reveal the proof. Who controls this and who controls that? Symbolism being used, are you aware of that? Nope, you brainwashed from within. Disconnect from the matrix, let the programming in. Think I'm on some movie shit, then you're still plugged in. Microchip for your arm, you can check out. Yup. That one flew right over your heads because I know half the planet is mentally dead or mentally sleep. Zombies controlled by the beat. Not me, my pineal gland is calcium free. Dig it, dig it. Let the truth be told. It's worth its weight in gold. Some sell their souls just to no. Off code, off code, off code, off code, off code. Off code, off code, off code, off code, off code.
And we motherfucking back, famo. The topic for the night is: Are you afraid of white people? Or are we afraid collectively of white people? Right? Now, like I said before, if you want to be a part of the conversation, you can dial in, right, at 716-293-7071. The PIN number 89197, right? Let me find this motherfucking definition and shit, because we want to be accurate with what the fuck we saying, right? Don't want to half step on this shit, because you know what we like to do. We like to change goddamn definitions of terms that are already been here and shit. You know, like motherfucking nigga. You know, we take a nigga back. That shit means something cool now. Right on up until a white person call you a nigga. Now you ready to bust his motherfucking head off. Stop fucking playing. Right? So, we go to afraid. They got, we all know that the English language is equivocal, meaning that one term or one word can mean multiple things. I think this shit all coincides pretty much, so we'll just do the three that they got here. It says, 1, feeling fear or anxiety, frightened. Number 2, worried that things undesirable will occur or be done. Number 3, unwilling or reluctant to do something for fear of the consequences. Right? Now, for the famo who calling in, right? I see Alan there. I got Rob on the line. Peace, famo. Good to hear from you.
Peace. All right, man. Likewise.
So, if there's some feedback, anyone who calls in on the line and shit, don't use goddamn speakerphone at all, because that's gonna feed back into the feed. You dig? It's gonna fuck us up. So we can continue. So again, that's what the fuck I'm talking about. Now I start the shit off. I'm gonna take number 2, and I don't give a fuck what you think. God damn it. Yes, I'm worried that something undesirable will occur or be done. Why? Because we ain't motherfucking prepared. There's no statistically relevant amount of us that's prepared for any kind of goddamn war, right? Or nothing like that. So I don't want to hear that rah-rah shit. You watch too many fucking movies, you listen to too much rap music, right? Point blank motherfucking period. Stop that shit. I don't know any motherfucking so-called black people who, I don't know any gunsmiths. I don't even see motherfuckers jogging around to get their goddamn body fit for goddamn physical confrontation. Okay? That's a motherfucking game. So yes, I'm afraid of that shit. I'm afraid of what certain white people will motherfucking do to us. Cause guess what? They already doing shit to me and you. You who listening to this shit, they doing shit to you, whether you know it or not. I don't give a fuck if you don't know it. That's a personal problem. You know what I'm saying? However, your personal problems and my personal problems all kind of correlate to all of our motherfucking personal problems as goddamn victims of white domination. Right? So I'm gonna go to Alan first, right? I want to ask you,
What up, cousin?
Peace. We in this motherfucker, man. We Facebook Live and this shit. You feel me?
I love it.
So you tell me, are you afraid of white people?
I'm terrified of white people.
Elucidate for the listening audience.
Oh, yeah, you have to be. I'm scared of them for what they can do. I'm scared of them for, like you said, what they've been doing. I'm scared of white people for what they are. I know what they are. I'm scared of goddamn rattlesnakes. I'm scared of lions. I'm scared of tigers. I'm scared of bears. I'm scared of all of that shit. So you know why? Because I understand that those things can really do me some damage. And once it gets started, there's nothing I can do to stop it. Well, let me take that back. In the case of a lion, a tiger, or a bear, there's some technology that's been developed to help me go ahead and stop that attack. In the case of a snake bite, I'm going to probably kill the snake right after, and there's some technology that will help me get the venom out my veins. When it comes to this white boy, there is no answer. There has been no answer. Yes, I'm scared of some shit that I can't figure out, man. But I tell you what, in the black community, the so-called black community, so-called black people, one of the main sayings that's ran around for a long time is, a scared motherfucker will hurt you. So yeah, I'm terrified of white people. I'm absolutely positively shaking in my boots about them, and I'm scared to the point where I want to do something about it. So every single day that I take breath, I look for and I try to figure out a way to put something together to protect me from this motherfucker whenever we get into a confrontation. Whenever I run up on him, I need to be able to protect me and mine in any and all situations. That's the bottom line, because the fact is he's not going to stop doing what he's doing. And if you check my posts on Facebook, if you come to Alan Stimson on Facebook, I tell you all the time, I tell the people all the time, don't be talking to me about your rights. Don't be talking to me about what's wrong, what's this, and what's that. The only thing we deserve is a motherfucking ass whipping, unless we can stop it. I'm done.
That's what the fuck I'm talking about, famo. And for the listening audience, you, whoever the fuck you are, listening to this shit, this ain't no goddamn pity party. Now, that's what you might thought this shit was. However, we gonna let our goddamn inadequacies be our motherfucking driving force. Now, you can do what the fuck you want to do, right? But this ain't the goddamn 60s where we say no shit like, with a white man doing everything, so why do anything? Nah, you can be with that shit. But there are some of us who are not with that shit. We let that shit be our driving motherfucking force. You feel me? Because we want to get these motherfuckers foot off our neck and out of our ass, we're trying to be thinkers and shit. Right?
Right.
So So we're gonna go to KK next, and you tell the listening audience, famo, and just share with us. Are you afraid of white people?
Absolutely. And I say so because I remember after watching Hidden Colors, um, I never really trust white people in the first place because I always knew that we had a strained relationship with them and things always seemed to go when we went around them. Um, just from watching TV and then just from my even how a lot of my white teachers spoke to me or the black student. But after a while, I remember going to bed and I couldn't sleep. Like I was paranoid. It was worse. Return of the Dead movie when I was younger. I was paranoid. I literally thought some white people gonna come and just drag.
Hold on for a second, Kay. Hold on. Roger and Alan, if y'all could, when the other person is talking, could y'all mute y'all mics and shit? Cause we get some feedback, so that's gonna fuck with the integrity of the goddamn Facebook Live shit.
Absolutely.
Good luck. Go ahead, Kay.
Yeah, so after watching that, it was worse than when I was younger watching that Return of the Dead zombie movie. I really was paranoid. I was laying in bed and I couldn't sleep because I felt like white people and drag me out of my bed and my brother and my mother. And I didn't want to go to sleep and wake up with seeing them over me. So I was just really paranoid. I was like, I don't got no gun in my house. I don't got no weapons. I wouldn't even know how to defend myself. And even so, they could just, the thought of them just having the capacity to just do anything, they could just come inside of my house and, to even call the police because you would just get more white people and they wouldn't even care. And just watching some of the things that have happened to us historically, and it's just like we're open property almost. Like I felt like I was a possession. Like I'm owned by white people, and there's absolutely nothing I could do about it. And it was then I realized how vulnerable I was, and the rest of us as well. And I was like, wow, it was like a big epiphany for me.
Wow. You know what? With her saying that, you know what? I got a clip that I'm gonna play for the famo who listening to this shit, who viewing it on Facebook. You dig? This is something that I got off of Alan's page, actually, who's on the line right now, the first one who spoke. And y'all just take a gander at this shit. Here we go.
Don't yell, mama. My daughter and son came home saying that this man grabbed him and choked him. I came around here and asked him, I said, why did you put your hands on my son? He said, oh, he threw some paper. I said, and I told him to pick it up. He said my son didn't pick it up. He defied him, so that's why he did it. Instead of following him home, he said, but y'all don't even live here. It doesn't matter where we live. You don't have the right to grab and choke nobody's son.
That's not his wife.
No,
His wife is young.
nobody. So I have a problem with that. My son is 7 years old. You don't have the right to grab him, choke him behind no paper that he threw. What you should have done, because we have been living here for years, so you know that my house is a door in between yours. You could have came to me. Don't put your hands on my son.
Why don't you teach your son not to litter?
He can't prove to me that my son littered. But it doesn't matter if he did or didn't. It doesn't give him the
He
right to
said,
put his
why
hands
don't you
on me.
teach your son not to
Because
litter?
You are loud.
Because it don't.
This man just asked my mama why does this white man not have the
Why would you ask me, why don't I teach him? You don't know what I teach him. And you don't, whatever you teach your kids don't mean that they go by your rules when they're not in your face. Because you just piss me off telling me what I teach my kids and what I don't.
If you keep yelling at me, you're going to piss me off. I'm going to teach you.
Okay, you're not, okay?
They don't shoot that. We are on live. Don't grab her. Don't grab her. You're not fuck up. Don't move. Don't move. You on live. Everything you just did is on live. I promise you that. I promise you that. You on live. Bitch. You on live. Bitch, I'm glad I just went live. Bitch, you on live. Stop fucking screaming. You a bitch. You a bitch. Nigga, you on live. You on live. I got this whole thing recorded on Jesus Christ. I got the whole thing recorded, bitch. On Jesus Christ, I got the whole thing recorded, bitch. You a pig ass bitch. Fuck y'all, motherfucking police, bitch. Bitch, I just recorded that's my motherfucking mama in the white, and that's my sister in the pink. You a pig ass bitch. And I just recorded every motherfucking thing on live, bitch. I'm on motherfucking live. Everything you just did is on live, bitch. Everything you motherfucking said is on live, bitch. I promise you. I promise you. Hey, stop fucking crying. It ain't no reason for you to cry. Everything on motherfucking live, bitch, and you're a big ass bitch too. I spray you in your motherfucking face, bitch. Bitch, go in the house. On Jesus Christ, everything is on motherfucking live. Everything. Move. Everything is on motherfucking live. Everything is on live. Everything is on live, bitch. Everything is on live, bitch. All y'all, pig ass bitch. You a pig ass bitch. She fucking 15. She fucking 15. His last name is Martin. His last name is Martin.
Get in the car.
Martin. I just recorded everything. I just recorded everything, bitch. You a big ass bitch. You a bitch, nigga. I'm Jesus Christ, you a bitch. You a big ass bitch, and I just recorded every motherfucking thing. You a big ass bitch. I ain't going nowhere. I'm recording this whole motherfucking thing, bitch. You got me fucked up. You a big ass bitch. And I recorded every motherfucking thing you just did. When you kicked up, bitch, it was recorded.
Okay, you're going to jail soon.
I don't give a fuck. Get my
Alright, that's enough of that. So let's review. Aside from all of the you a bitch and all of that shit, you know, we heavy in the name calling and all that kind of shit. Which is, you know, it's nothing. It's motherfucking sandbox shit, right? One thing we could observe is that she says on Jesus, on this white man. Number two, she's talking about this is live, as if white people don't give us the technology to so-called go live, including what the fuck I'm doing right now, right? Number three, do we really think that those BAFs, black adult females, that called these police officers and this white man motherfucking came out, that they were thinking that they were afraid? You think they were afraid? Or did they think the shit was gonna go how it go on TV and all of that kind of shit? Now the question becomes for me, because everything becomes a question. Was that shit constructive? Did it motherfucking pan out how the fuck they thought it would pan out? You be the judge of that shit. You just seen it. You feel me? Now we'll go to Roger and shit. You there, Famo?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, give us your take on if you did see the video. I'm not sure because you kind of went in, went out and shit, you know. But if not,
Yeah,
it don't
I saw
matter.
it.
Okay, give
I
us your
saw it.
take on it.
I knew that they were sorry that they called. Nothing worked out the way they thought it was. She thought that she could just talk to the guy and get him to give her some kind of justice for what happened to her son. And it turns out that she was a victim, and she got her 15-year-old daughter involved in it too, and got her. I think they injured her a little bit because she was laying on the ground and couldn't move. And nothing's going to come out of it. They can't sue. If anything does come out of it, it's just to prove a point to make it look like they're paying attention to or are polite. But it didn't turn out anyway like they wanted it to.
Wow.
They are
Wow.
doing things like
Oh, go ahead.
they're doing things like that to play with our minds. It's like you're being in the cage and they're pulling you out one by one just to show you that it's like who's next to get you scared.
What about the topic and shit? You know, let the listening audience know. You know, from your vantage point, are you afraid of white people?
As a whole, yes. I try not to think about them. I just do what I got to do. But I'm scared for family and all the time what can happen to them, especially when you have males in your family.
That's understood. Under white domination, we on the goddamn 24 lockdown, like on goddamn fucking movie. What the fuck is that movie they made with Denzel and shit? Help me out, y'all.
Oh yeah.
Alan. What do you say?
Training Day?
Training Day. King Kong ain't got nothing on me. That's another goddamn reference. King Kong. Goddamn niggas as monkeys.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man.
Actually,
Oh.
they're the monkeys.
They the monkeys?
Yeah, they just took over. They're Planet Apes, and they done worked it. So the apes is running the thing.
Right. Alan, you still there, famo?
I'm still here with you, Coach.
Shit, give us some more your thoughts and shit on what you saw. You know, seeing that you put it up, you know, and I read your shit, it was motherfucking very enlightening. You know what I'm saying? It made fucking perfect logical sense to me. However, a lot of the famo didn't like it or nothing. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, what the fuck? Y'all don't see this shit? So just give us give the listening audience and us your take on that video.
What I saw right there was just basically, no, I don't think we really know enough to be scared. If we knew what we was looking at, I think we would be scared. And that's the point I was trying to make in the video. In the little dialogue that I put up there before the video, do we know where we at? And that's the thing that I think a lot of black people don't get. I didn't get it for a long time. And you have to really understand where you are. And after you've seen a lot, after you've seen enough, you know, you kind of figure it just becomes obvious where we are. But then again, you know, everybody's tolerance level is different than mine. So, you know, I don't have any judgment for a victim who doesn't see the things the way I see them. Because, you know, like we always say, shit, I could be wrong. Alan Stimpson is not the smartest person that you ever met. But what I saw in that video was, I saw people who believed in the propaganda. I saw people who believed in the hype that, you know, this was a common sense situation, that a 7-year-old got assaulted by a grown man. That's what I saw there. I saw people who believed that a police officer, I don't even like to call them police officers, but we're not going to get into that right now. But I believe that people thought that they were doing the right thing, and I suspect Mama thought that it was going to be pretty much cut and dry. He put his hands on a child. All right, he committed an act of violence against a child. You know, the very thing that you see all these white folks on Facebook talking about, or I look at a lot of prison shows where they say, "Oh man, if you harm the child, you know, we'll kill you in the prison." Right. So all of these black babies that have been harmed up under the system of racism, anti-blackness, white domination, what have you. You know, none of this stuff matters to me. Let me tell you something. What I want my people to understand is that when it comes to morality and what you think is right and what you think is not right, you have to understand that a lion has no morality where a hyena is concerned, and vice versa. Most of these other species on the planet, morality only comes into play when they're dealing with their own kind. I think the lie that's been told is that these people are people just like us. My point of view on what I've seen in the world and what I've seen when I look back at the history books, because past is just prologue. Past is just everything that happened in the past is what set us up for this right here. What I look at is I'm looking at another species. I'm looking at another organism, another living thing that does what it does, and I see my people trying to reason with that thing, and that's scary for me. That's scary for me. It's scary because they are very good at camouflage. They're very good at concealing what they really are, and the nature of them being so slick with it, so deceitful with it, able to change spots, able to shapeshift almost, able to look a certain way and then sell it to us. That's got to scare you. That has to scare you, and it shakes me. And that's what I saw in the video. I saw Mama with a legit beef, not understanding who she was talking to. I'm done.
God damn. Broke that motherfucking shit down, Famo. Broke that shit down, Famo. Y'all heard the shit, right? Come to your own fucking conclusion.
Oh, yeah.
Come to your own conclusion. Now, we had another Famo come in. Zora, you there?
Okay, wait a minute.
Okay,
Can you hear?
Yes, we can hear you. Now we can't. You on mute. Come on.
Wait a minute. Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, okay. I just came in the middle of the conversation, so I didn't hear the question.
Okay, so the question is, are you afraid of white people? Now, let me give the context of this, seeing that you just came in, right?
Right.
Because we're not going to go off of what we learned colloquially amongst us and shit. Because, you know, we like to flip-flop fucking words that already exist, that already have pre-connotations, right? Like nigga, you know. Oh, that's my nigga. Until the white person call you that shit, now you want to bust their head, right? So we ain't going to play that game, right? So I'm going to go to the definition that white people give, that we got it from, and it's three of them. One says feeling fear or anxiety, frightened. Number two is worried that something undesirable will occur or be done. Number three is, did I say number three 2 times? Fuck it, I don't give a fuck. I'm a victim. Number three, unwilling or reluctant to do something for fear of the consequences. Now, with that, with you having that understanding, are you afraid of white people?
Well, what you just described to me was plantation oppressive mentality, and in that case, I think it's right to. I mean, since I come from a different generation, you know, that was taught to fear, and then we overcame that fear and had to fight for our rights. No, I'm not, because I mean, to me, fear is control. I was taught in recovery that fear means fuck everything and run. And that's what I'm seeing with the Trump election. Most of us are saying fuck everything and run. Let's all run to this certain peninsula. Let's all get together and go to and make a geographical change. I was born and raised here. They're not running me anywhere. I've been through this. I have danced before. Now I would dance again. So no, I'm Southern black. Now I'm pretty sure that blacks all over the country has experienced something, but I was raised in Jim Crow South. So I been neck of the bush, you know.
Hold on, Zara. Alan and Roger, are you guys muted?
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah, I was muted. I'm back on to answer the question.
Okay. We're just trying to make sure you muted and shit while the other speakers are speaking, so we can have clarity in the conversation. Go ahead, Zara. Finish what you were saying.
Okay. I'm just gonna backtrack a little. We've danced this dance before. You know, to the back of the bus, to whites only. And then we stood down. We faced that fear, and we just weren't gonna take it anymore. No. I mean, I live in what you call the hub of racism, the South. And no, I don't have any fear. I don't have any fear of not pleasing anybody. Um, no, I don't have that master mentality. My great aunts and my grandmother were maids, and they didn't have master mentality. So, and they raised us to be very strong. So, no, to me, fear equals that it gives them power to have privilege. I feel like I'm just as privileged. They might not think what they think don't matter to me. I've earned the right to be here.
I can dig it. I can dig it. Now, before we go on with the conversation, I'm gonna give it a little time and shit to promote my famo over at the Black Star, Sir Rush. So we'll be right motherfucking back. Alright, we motherfucking back, right? And again, if you want to be a part of the conversation when you're here on motherfucking Facebook Live, you can call in. The call in number is 716-293-7071. The PIN number is 89197. Again, call in number 716-293-7071. PIN number 89197. So now we motherfucking back, right? So now, since we've heard everybody's goddamn commentary, right, individually, I suspect we could go to more so of a dialogue amongst individuals if we want to. You dig? Now, we heard the only one who came in was Zara, she's from a different generation, right? For clarity, though, Zara, could you give the listening audience what generation you're from specifically?
Well, I was raised in the 60s, I was raised in the late 50s, 60s, and 70s. I don't mind telling my age. Yes, I do.
I understand. You know what I'm saying? I feel you. I feel you. You know. So we heard what generation she's from, right? And the things that she learned. Is there anyone who has a different point of view who would like to ask some questions, make comments on what she said? Also, keeping in mind that she is a victim of white domination, just like you and I. So don't talk no shit, because I kick you off this motherfucker. Right? Anybody? Roger, Alan, Kay?
I'll say the progression from that time period to now has been non-progressive and inexistent, because right now we don't have no rights, just the same way as we did not have any in the past. So
what's up with the peace effects?
So I don't see what kind of rights we have fought for, because we didn't win. We didn't win then, and we still not winning now.
I guess I take a different point of view of it, because Because at one time, I hear a lot of people, different generations say that. Now, that's one thing I'm going to first say is that in some respects, my generation dropped the ball. We did not keep the torch burning. Now, I will. Some of us will take responsibility for that, but a lot of us did keep the torch going. I think as time progressed and technology started to get a little more sophisticated and parenting started becoming a little different and integration came into play. Because when I was growing up, we had no choice but to stick to each other. We didn't have that much division. And if we did have division, we still respected each other in public. In private, we could say what we wanted to say. But in public, we all knew we were one color with one agenda. Today, it's a lot different. Yes, the situation is, to tell you the truth, the situation is much worse. The only thing that's missing is that you don't have separate bathrooms or facilities and you're not sitting on the back of the bus. But the premise is still the same. Instead of getting hung, now you're getting shot. Genocide has always gone on with our people. Every time we progress with each generation, we are always taking 2 or 3 steps back. Now, my generation can blame it on the previous generation, and that generation can blame it on the previous generation, and so on and so forth. We all make mistakes in each generation. What is going on now to me is combination, a combination. Uh, I'm not getting, can't find the right word for it, but I think it has hit a dead end. We are hitting a brick wall. A lot of us have become lackadaisical. We have started instead of using social media as a tool to fight, some of us are using it as to complain, divide, and put down each other. We are still in the same struggle. We are still in the fight, and it must continue. I'm not saying what you're saying is wrong. That's a good point you made. Yes, we are in the same boat, per se, but we have to think of new techniques. Marching and protesting doesn't work. That's what they're used to. Uh, but we have to be a little more. We have to jump on their butts a little sooner. We shouldn't have these many police deaths. We shouldn't have this much. We shouldn't even have all these racist tweets, and we haven't done anything about it. And we shouldn't even have the dueling prophets on social media and YouTube. This shouldn't be. This is something that I learned when I was younger. During the struggle was you never let your left hand know what your right hand is doing. And we do that a lot in social media every day. We complain to each other. We point fingers at each other. We scapegoat the supremacist system with some of the responsibility we need to take for ourselves. When I was growing up, there was nothing but black business, black neighborhoods, everybody raised it. It wasn't a utopia. It wasn't an ideal situation, but it was a better situation. These days, we are distracted by a lot of things, including myself. I'm not saying that my generation is not excluded from that, because we have too many factions going on. When I was growing up, you had only certain factions you recognize. Our heroes were identified and defined. This generation, this today, and I'm not going to say this generation, with technology, I'm having problems trying to figure out what's true and what's not true. When you have these dueling prophets and they talk about how conscious they are, and it's like, I'm deeper than you are, man. And then they post all these YouTube videos where they do these rants and raves. The supremacist system don't have a thing to worry about because they know our business. And when you have a sellout like, I'll name him, Tommy Santamora, that has a fan base of over 1 million, and he's being paid by the supremacist system, but yet we still endorse this this Sambo. There's something wrong. There's something that we need to look inside ourselves and see what can we do. White men ain't gonna give us nothing. They didn't give us anything.
let me
We
let
had
me let me let me interject right here. Because you did make a cogent point that I want to extrapolate from what you were saying, right? When you were saying that some people from maybe your generation will blame later generations, and later generation will blame people from your generation, right? You know, the goddamn elephant in the room is ain't nobody talking about white people. That's what the
hmm
fuck this is about right here. Nobody talking about white people. Are you afraid of fucking white people? You know what I'm saying? They out the goddamn equation, and yet somehow we miraculously come back to, as we say, which I fucking loathe, the white man. What about the white woman, goddammit? What about white people? Why
When
is
I
that
say
still, wait a minute. Why is
okay,
that still even relevant to say the white man? You know what I'm saying? Specifically to those of us amongst us who exude Afrocentric ideologies, right? When they talk about, let's say, my art, right? When they talk
hmm
about balance, where's the fucking balance in the white man?
well, think about this. Who was this country supposedly founded by? Who wrote the Constitution? How many female names have signed the Bill of Rights? This is a patriarchal society. White man believes that they run everything. They did not give white women the vote. I'm not sticking up for white women. This has always been a patriarchal society. It's always been about the white man and manifest destiny as far as he's concerned. They have ruled their women until they fought back. They didn't get the vote till the 1900s. They just got out the kitchen in the 1950s. They are basically still, but they can still get to the glass ceiling quicker than a black woman can. But as far as who makes the rules, I mean, look who you just voted in. A man who has a geisha for a wife.
Now, you know what? I want to speak about this whole notion of patriarchy, right? Now, as far as my limited research, and I will concede that, and I might be inaccurate about what the fuck I'm about to say, right? But going into white spaces, as they call them, listening to them talk to themselves amongst themselves, when you get to the fucking core of so-called patriarchy, it's gynocentric in nature. What do I mean by gynocentric for the famo who's listening? It means centered, female centered, right? We can go back to situations like, when a white woman claimed that a black man looked at her, what we call black man, what I call BAMs, looked at her or said something to her, these motherfuckers would form like Voltron, okay? And go get this motherfucker and castrate him and all kind of shit. So this whole patriarchy notion, I'm not buying this shit simply because for me specifically, it's going along with the norm of what's been taught to us by white people, specifically by white women, by way of white men giving them access to put their information out, right? Because white women benefit from this shit, okay? They benefit from patriarchy. Example, in my view, which could be incorrect again, the one galvanizing term, they just use the fucking word. White people use the word to get some of our baths to leave talking about things about us. And what was that term? Woman. The white bitch came and said, we're women. We're women. And we need to fight against the patriarchy. Right? However, when we talk about time frames like Zahara is from, right? You will be hard pressed to find any so-called black organization that was more than likely established by BAMS, it was for the collective. It wasn't about no goddamn gender. Because let's be honest about this and let's think about this. There's a difference between being classified as a woman and a female. One is a gender, one is a sex. You're born a female biologically, and you go through goddamn stages of the shit: infancy, adolescence, adulthood, etc., etc. Woman is a goddamn gender that has pre-connotations around it that says this is what you must do and this is what you should not do. This is a title, right?
Right.
And so when people bring in words, because words are very important. I want to give a shout out to Gus T. Renegade over at the Cows, Context of White Supremacy, Gus T. Renegade Injustice for putting me up on this, and Mr. Nilly Fuller Jr. Words are very important. They motherfucking they motherfucking decide or bring to how we think whether there's going to be confusion or clarity within a conversation. If we shut the fuck up, because I suspect we got 2 ears and 1 mouth for one reason, and we talk too goddamn much instead of listening with the 2 ears that we got, right? Words are very important. They can make you want to kill. They can make you want to have sex, steal, all that kind of shit, right? So they motherfucking influence us. So when I hear terms, certain terms, I'm listening to what people are saying, and I suspect if we listen with our 2 ears, we could understand the pre-connotations, and we could tell the person's paradigm from the terms that they use. Where did they get it from, and what influences that it may be having on their brain? Patriarchy, for me, in the context of white domination, is some bullshit that's been passed along from white men and white women, but mostly white women and shit, to try to make them the damsels in distress. Fuck that. White women are fucking dangerous. And guess what? If you tell me, if you give me the option between being the motherfucker that's sitting in the seat versus the motherfucker who's whispering in their motherfucking ear, the person who's in the seat, I'll take the position as whispering in their ear to get what the fuck I want. And that is the white woman, in my view. I could be inaccurate. I'll stop right there.
Well, I would like to interject, and I just posted a video in the back if you would like to show what had happened with this white bitch called Bam over, said something insulting as usual. It already looked like she had an issue from the way how she's behaving, and whatever she had said, he backed, and she went on to push him, and that's when he knocked the bitch out. And she ended up getting some fractured bones in her face and whatnot. He was on the football team for a college, I believe, and he ended up getting suspended due to this, and even apologized, unfortunately, for what he had done. All he was doing was defending himself. But that just shows the danger of the white bitch, where a lot of the times they're used as props to will us in, especially with for BAMs is even worse because they're males. And you already know how this society is. If you hit a female, you're automatically a criminal, even if she attacks you first. So the white bitch is definitely historical in how she has pretty much done a lot of damage, and no one looks at her because she's a female and she's underestimated. People see them as these little, I don't know, innocent, cute, desirable, pure.
Well,
beings.
she's not cute.
I agree. Well, some of them are attractive, whether we want to
admit it or not. Absolutely. We ain't gonna
Right.
play with that either. But that's a topic for another program on Facebook Live. Now, what we want to do now is we will go to Alan or Roger to give your commentary on what's been said thus far.
I want to kind of let Zara off the hook because it's more of a system that holds you back. She could have did all that marching, all that kind of stuff. It never would have worked. No matter how we stuck together, we can't. Once we did that segregation stuff, we kind of blew it. But no matter what you do, once they got that in place, it's hard to get out of it. We're gonna have to figure out how to get. It will pretty much take a war, knocking this whole country down. Everybody rebuilding. We saying, screw y'all build back up, and not getting inside their system and doing it on our own because we can build it faster than they can. We're smarter than they are. Something's going to happen that's going to give us the separation we need. There was nothing that Zora's generation could have did to fix anything because the whole deck was stacked against them anyway. They only want to make us think we're doing stuff.
Well, we definitely want to be clear. We definitely want to be clear, however, that on this program, we not talking shit about other victims. They did the best that they could. However, that doesn't mean that we can't give pushback. Right? That's all that I'm saying.
I'm back, fam. I'm back, fam. Just in case you didn't know it.
Absolutely. Let's get Alan to come in and expound on what he thinks about the motherfucking conversation thus far. Go ahead, Alan.
So we're talking about as far as older generations and different things like that. I'm with you. I like to keep it progressive. A lot of stuff has been tread and retread. My thing is, I think my suggestion is that we come up with what's the end goal? I mean, what do we all really want to see out of life? I mean, are we looking to be treated, correctly and in order? Are we looking to be treated equally? I mean, what is it that everybody's looking for? Because I have an idea of what I would like to see life be, and I think everybody else has an idea of what they would like to see life be. With that being said, when you've got those different viewpoints, you have people that look at progression or whatever in different ways. So, I mean, are we going to be able to come to a consensus as to what it is? If we say we are a collective of people, let's say black, for lack of a better word, just to keep it fresh or whatever, just to keep it with something everybody understands.
That's right.
What is it that we are looking for? What I'm looking for is to be able to do what I want to do when I want to do it, as long as I don't hurt anybody else while I'm doing it. That's what I'm looking for out of this thing, to guarantee that no person is mistreated and the people that need the most help receive the most help, whoever I decide them to be. That's what I'm looking for. That's some old school stuff. Off code, you know what I'm talking about. But to put it in layman's terms, to do what I want to do without being hindered on my way, and make sure that I'm not hindered either. That's what I'm looking for out of life. And what I'm saying is, if we're going to do that, we have to come to the consensus first of what we want. Second, we have to look at what obstacle do we have to face in order to get there. Third, we have to come up with a plan of action. That's where I'm at. 1, 2, 3. What do we want? What obstacles do we have to overcome? And then what are we going to do about it? That's all I got.
I like that. I like that a lot. However, I will say this. Unfortunately, I've come to the conclusion that, amongst us, there will be no consensus. There will be no consensus.
Right.
There's too many ideologies. You feel me? And that's fine. That's fine. Hell, other people have different ideologies of any group.
Right.
Right? Now, like something that young brother Marcus said on Sinetta, of all places. Do we have a common philosophy? Right? Because from what I'm doing right now, or what I attempt to do, I don't give a fuck what you are. You know, what I'm talking about is something for you to consider. It's not a fucking answer. It's, if anything, if we're talking in goddamn computer terms, it's an add-on that you can get rid of if you want to. You ain't gotta listen to that shit. You can throw, see how the streets like it, like on fucking janky promoters. Toss that shit. You feel me? However,
Right thing.
there will be no consensus because that shit would go against some shit that we heard from people who some of us classify as ancestors. When they talk about, which we still talk about today, the house nigga in the field nigga. We have individuals amongst us who talk about unity, and then on the second hand, they'll talk about these coons. Unity is already predefined. It's all inclusive. However, some of us are talking about getting rid of the goddamn coons. Now, you for the listening audience, you think about that shit. If you want to. Does that make sense? To use a term that's been fucking defined before they even existed, but they change it, kind of like we did nigga, right? And now they want to say, well, we need unity. And then they talk about we need to do something about these coons. The question becomes for me, are we attempting to compensate for what we really don't want to do or have the fortitude to do? Do we need everybody? Did the civil rights movement have unity? Meaning all black people in America, for right or for wrong, because some of us will say that the shit was fucked up and, we lost our businesses and all of that shit. I agree with some of those aspects, right? However, the question is, did they have unity, or did they have a number of black people who are backing them? Do we need unity? Do we need every goddamn body?
No.
And
no,
I'm not,
because we're not that. We're not. Sorry, sir. I got to say this.
Go ahead.
And as far as me looking at black people, okay, as a species, we're not the unification people. We are we really are. I used lions earlier, but we really are those lions on the savannah. I'm saying we're black people are big animals. We're very big animals. We're very creative. When I say big animals, what I mean is we're creative, the salt of the earth type people. The type of folks that, everybody has to run their own thing. Unity is not going to come with us. It's not going to happen. When you look at the smaller animals on the planet, the cockroaches, the bees, the ants, and things like that, they all kind of stick together. When I look at black people, what I look at as far as what we've done and who we are and the things that we continue to do creatively, we're way too creative to ever be a person who gets with another person. Each of us demands its own kingdom. That's what we do. That's what black people are, man. We are. And that's why we get into so much conflict amongst one another. To be honest with you, black people don't even see white folks. We never see them. We don't even look at them. We don't even respond to them because we're caught up in what we do. We look at ourselves as being something totally different. And we do that. We operate like that. When you walk down the street, man, you don't even see white folks. You know what I'm saying? You looking for them. When you see a black person, that's when you be like, hey, what's cracking? What's popping? When you see white folks, you kind of go on because you understand that it's not them. But let me tell you what happened. White folks was not all together in their thing. They was not all together in what they wanted to do, but they had to artificially come up with a context that gave everybody some type of direction. Now, I don't think that's the thing for black folks to do. What I think we need to do is, I think that black people just need to understand that there's something out there that's trying to take each and every one of us out. There's something out there that's trying to get with us, parasites, if you will. Fleas and ticks that kind of disturb our existence. And at some point, one of us is going to come up with a solution for that. And once they do, You don't have to worry about unity no more. Because once one black family, just like that family on the video, if you'd have seen that black woman able to go ahead and get justice for herself in the situation that she was in, you don't have to tell anybody, let's get together. Because whatever she was doing, people's going to pick up and follow. I'm done.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We have a new person on the panel now. I can't pronounce this shit either. What is it? Merit M4? MERRITTM4. You there, famo? We might just got another person listening. That's cool. So what we'll do is we've been on this for quite some time now. We will wrap up and take some last words from Roger and KK, and then myself. Roger, you there?
Yes, sir. About the unity, we don't need everyone because everyone's not going to come along. We need people that are good, that care about each other, and that are honest enough to get the job done. We can't just say we're going to go get you and you and you. Just like at church, you have somebody standing around holding back the whole crowd. It's not going to work if we have to get everybody, because there'll always be somebody getting in the way.
Absolutely. KK Hype 6, you there?
Yep. Yes, I'm here. I'll say, definitely, I don't think ever will all of us come together and think collectively as a whole. But I think it would be a great idea for us to start making some changes within our behavior consciously, because you were talking about being conscious, but yet we're very unconscious of a lot of things that we do. That's why I say we are unconsciously conscious. And perhaps start teaching your children, if you have any, how to do things that you were given the advantage of doing. Start making your own traditions and start doing things that will enable you to be less dependent upon white people and the resources and options that they give us. And if anything, use their tools to your advantage, because there's plenty out here.
Interesting. That was powerful to me.
Yeah.
For the listeners,
Yeah, real powerful.
I don't give a fuck what you think. That was powerful to me. God damn it. Alan, can we get your final thoughts, famo?
Oh man, I liked that. I liked everything that everybody said. That's the fabric of what we work with. I have a problem. My problem is white people. They are the reason for every problem that I've ever ran into in life, and I work every single day to develop a way not to be scared anymore. I don't like being scared. Being scared is not a good feeling. Being scared is not the way I like to walk around and live my life. So I'm so scared that I'm really trying to give these people the death blow, so to speak. I don't even want to play with you. I don't want to spar. I don't want to throw jabs and hooks. I want to hit you I want to give you the one-hitter quitter real quick. So that's what I do every day. And if I come up with it and somebody decides they want to, follow, F yourself. That's it.
Peace. We appreciate that. Zora.
Yeah.
Just came back. We're giving our final thoughts. You have anything final to leave with the famo?
I just want to make a few points. You talk about the white female being damsel in distress, and it made me think back about the movie Birth of a Nation, who Calvin Coolidge, who was president at that time, considered the greatest movie. ever made, and it's still on the top 10 list of the AFI. So that really shows you uh, that supremacy has always been in place, and white women has always been put on a pedestal as, and of course, as forbidden fruit. That really uh, that kind. It's always been that especially in the South, that the white woman is the delicate, antebellum flower. But that movie alone, with blackface white men being portrayed as drunks and rapists and murderers, and the Ku Klux Klan as the heroes, kind of really set that in motion. That's mostly where the ideology came from, and then that became a downhill spiral. Another thing I would like to say is that I don't know if it was Alan, but someone, he made a very good point. We have to define what we really want, because even in doing the era of the Black Panthers and most of the factions that were actually on the same page, and although they did have different ideologies, nobody agreed on the same thing. We could fuss and fight behind closed doors, but when we was on the streets and you in formation, you act like you had sung 10 choruses of Kumbaya and we were all best friends. Nobody's going to agree on everything, but we must agree on one thing, that we're all the same color and we're all the same struggle. Another point that I like to make is I'm not a victim. I'm a victor. I'm a survivor. I'm still here. So I've never considered myself a victim of discrimination. I am part of a history of people who have been stereotyped and discriminated against for centuries. So I'm not alone. We're never alone in the struggle. So those of us that are still here, we are victors. We are survivors. We're elders. Another thing that I would like to say is that across generations, maybe we should have a forum on what do we want? What is the outcome of this? Because in 2017, it's going to blow up. It's already blowing up in our faces. Trump has elected one of the richest men in America to be in part of his cabinet. Most of these people have racist histories. So we have to decide quickly on what we want, what we really want to do, how we want to move forward. Because at the end of the day, it's about us. It's not about them. It's how we're going to react. We can be victims or we can be victors. The choice is ours. You can be in an oppressed society, but you don't have to have an oppressive mentality.
Interesting. I'll say this.
Code, I want to ask a question.
Sure, go ahead.
When it comes to the whole thing, as far as unity, first of all, I like what everybody had to say. But guys, we got to really ask a hardcore question: is water wet? Do snakes bite? Is snow cold? I ain't saying that we got to get together on nothing as far as what the strategy is and what the mentality is, but I'm saying that we have to look at things and understand what they are. When you look at a door, you know that it may need a key to unlock, right? We can all agree on that. When you see when you see gray clouds, we understand that rain is coming down, right?
That's right.
When you look at the ocean, we understand that you could drown in that thing. Now that's what I'm talking about. I ain't talking about no consensus on holding hands. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about, look, when you look at that white person, what we need to understand is this a person that will harm you? Is this not a person? Is this a thing that will harm you? That right there is the biggest problem that's facing our people that has ever faced our people. We are the most open-armed to this, most cosmopolitan, most loving people, the most forgiving folks on the damn planet. I'm saying, when you look at a bird, you understand it's got wings. When you see a duck, you expect to hear a quack. When you see a dog, you fit to hear a bark. When you see a white person, question murder. Now let's answer that. That's it to me for sure.
Interesting. Absolutely. Absolutely. We gonna conclude this. By the way, this was a goddamn ABOD motherfucking Facebook Live show. ABOD stands for All Brains on Deck. You dig? And I think it was constructive. Might not have been. You come to your own goddamn conclusion, right? I can't think for you, the listening audience, whoever the fuck you are listening to this shit. Come to your own conclusions. However, I will leave with some suspected races, even going back into antiquity, which I don't like to do because I know we be all over the goddamn place. We go to Ambasibia, goddamn Timbuktu, Kemet, all that shit. Listen, I don't do that shit. However, there are critical things that we could think about that were said then and now by some would perceive still then are open enemies and now are open enemies. So I'll leave with two what I would classify as suspected racists, and I might be inaccurate about one based on the time frame. We'll go to Plato. Quote, "Those who are able to see beyond the shadows and lies of their own culture will never be understood, let alone believed by the masses." And then we'll go to something more current, Buckminster Fuller, where he said, what the fuck did that suspected racist say? He said that to change things, I'm drawing a blank like a motherfucker. Fuck that. Listen, y'all look that shit up. We gonna end this motherfucking shit. Maybe I'll have it next time, but I can't think of it now. So, you know what I'm saying? We will go to, we will end this off with the president, Riding Club, the motherfucking president, PA stand up, you know what I'm saying? Off Code and the Famo out.
President, talk to him.
You want the truth? You can't handle the truth. Why? 'Cause it blows fuck mine.
Everything is an illusion that you see with your eyes. This is the third one is open and you see through the lies. Read between the lines, unveil the truth. Inspired with like minds and reveal the proof. Who controls this and who controls that? Symbolism being used, are you aware of that? Nope, you brainwashed from within. Disconnect from the matrix, let the programming in. Think I'm on some movie shit, then you're still plugged in. Microchip for your arm, you can check out 10. Yep. That one flew right over your heads because I know half the planet is mentally dead or mentally sleep. Zombies controlled by the beat. Not me, my pineal gland is calcium free. Dig it, dig it. Let the truth be told. It's worth its weight in gold. Some sell their souls just to no. Off code, off code, off code, off code, off code. Off code, off code, off code, off code.